Hello students, welcome to Physics World. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance. Let's begin the discussion by answering two fundamental questions. What is electrostatic potential? What is the significance of electrostatic potential? As well as why to introduce electrostatic potential concept? So let's begin. The first question is, what is the significance of electrostatic potential to electric charges? In fluid dynamics, we have studied that the fluid will flow from a region of high pressure to a low pressure region. Similarly, in thermodynamics, we have seen that the heat tend to flow from high temperature region to low temperature region. Similarly, in case of electric charge, the direction of electric flow of electric charge from one point to another point is characterized by the potential of these points. So we will see that the charge will flow from a region of high potential to a region of low potential. This is the significance of electrostatic potential to electric charge or the motion of electric charge. The second question is, why to introduce the concept of electric potential? In the previous chapter, we have seen that around any charge there exists an electric field. Any point in this electric field is characterized by a vector, that is electric field intensity vector. This electric field intensity vector helps us in the further study of the behavior of the charge Q. The electric field intensity vector gives us a lot of information about a charge placed at the point P. It gives the force experienced, the direction of motion of the charge, etc. But sometimes dealing with a vector quantity is not simple. We can overcome this difficulty with the help of electrostatic potential. Instead of using the electric field intensity vector, we will describe the same field by assigning a scalar quantity to each point in the region known as electric potential. This makes our calculations simpler. So the concept of electrostatic potential is introduced to make our calculations simpler. Previously, we have compared the gravitation and electricity in case of force, field, etc. and found some similarities. So let us do that here also. If you want to lift a ball, we have to do some work against the gravitational force. And we know that this work will be stored as the potential energy of the ball. If we drop the ball, this potential energy will be converted to its kinetic energy. However, the total energy, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy, is conserved. Thus, gravitational force is a conservative force. So, it is associated with a gravitational field and gravitational potential energy function. Similarly, electrostatic force is also a conservative force. So, it is reasonable to infer a potential field and a potential energy function for the electric field. Let us do the same analysis for the electric field also. Imagine a source charge Q placed at an arbitrary origin. The surrounding space has an electric field E. That is, if we place a test charge Q nearby, it experiences a repulsive force that is represented by the vector Fe, the electrostatic force vector. Let the test charge Q be placed at a point R. Due to this electrostatic force, the test charge will get repelled from the source charge and it moves away. So we will consider the charge Q placed at the point R. So it will experience a force Fe away from the source charge. Now we will take another point P, which is near to the source charge Q. If you want to move the charge from R to P, we have to do some work. That means the external agent has to do some work. This force applied by the external agent is F external. So due to F external, the point charge or the test charge Q will move from R to P. There are some assumptions in this case. The first one is that the test charge Q is very small so that it does not disturb the original configuration. Or simply, due to the test charge, the source charge does not move from its position or it experiences very negligible force. The second assumption is that no acceleration of the charge Q when it is brought from point R to P. So we are assuming that the acceleration is zero. That means this is possible only when the net force is zero. The net force experienced here is nothing but the sum of the external force and the electrostatic force. So F external plus Fe must be 0. From here we can write F external must be equal to minus vector Fe. What is the significance of this second assumption? We know that we are going to move the test charge Q from R to P against the electrostatic force. So the external agent has to apply some force or the external agent has to do some work. This work will be stored as its energy. Since in this case we are assuming that the acceleration is zero, that means the velocity is not changing, or it means that the kinetic energy remains constant. So whatever work we do, that will be completely converted to the change in potential energy. So here we have the charge Q placed at the point R. Now this charge Q will experience an electrostatic force Fe away from the source charge Q. Let's move the charge from point R to point P by applying an external force. And this external force will do some work in order to move the charge from R to P. This work will be stored as the potential energy. So if we remove the external force, what will happen? This stored potential energy will be converted to its kinetic energy and the test charge Q will move from P to R by using this potential energy. So kinetic energy gained will be equal to the potential energy lost. Or we can say that the total energy, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy, is conserved because the electrostatic force is a conservative force. So as I told earlier, the work done, the equation is nothing but WRP, that is the work done on the test charge Q in order to move it from R to P, is given by integral R to P F external dot dr, where F external is the external force applied and dr is the displacement. So if you integrate it, you will get the total work done. But as we already know the relation between external force and the electrostatic force, it is nothing but the vector F external is equal to minus vector Fe. And if we substitute that here, what we will get? We will get WRP is equal to minus integral R to P Fe dot dr. Here the negative sign indicates that the work done is against the electrostatic force. This work done is against electrostatic repulsive force and gets stored as potential energy. So you can write from the work energy principle, the work done is equal to change in potential energy. Or we can define the potential energy, electrostatic potential energy, as the work done on the test charge in order to move it from R to P. So electric potential energy difference between 2 points in an electric field is the work done in moving a charge from one point to other against the electrostatic force. So here we have defined the term electric potential difference. So the electric potential energy difference delta U is equal to WRP. This is our equation. Now let's see one of the fundamental characteristics of this work done. As we have already seen, a conservative force or the work done by a conservative force is independent of the paths. The same is applicable here also. So if we take the charge from R to P in this path A or some other path B or even some other path C, in all these cases the work done is independent of the path. So this path independence is one of the fundamental characteristics. So we can say that work done by an electrostatic field in moving a charge from one point to another is independent of path. Here we have defined electric potential energy difference between 2 points. Suppose we want to define the absolute value instead of the difference. That means we want to see or we want to find the potential energy at point P. So for that what we have to do? We want to find UP. So in this expression UR must be 0. That means we have to find a point where the potential energy is 0. From our discussions, we can have a logical guess. That means the potential energy will be 0 at point where the influence of the source charge is negligible. So logically it says that that point is very far from this source charge. So we can take that point to be infinity. So what we are going to do? We are going to define the electric potential energy at point P instead of defining the electric potential energy difference between the points P and R. So for that we are going to make the point R to be infinity, or we will imagine that electrostatic potential energy is 0 at infinity. So we'll take the point R at infinity. So what will happen in this expression? The point R is infinity, or we are taking the point from infinity to the point P. So the work done will be W infinity P. That will be equal to UP minus U infinity. So U infinity we have assumed to be 0. So we will get UP. So here we have defined the electric potential energy at point P. What is that? UP is nothing but W infinity P. What is W infinity P? W infinity P is the work done to move a charge from infinity to point P. So the potential energy of a charge Q at a point in an electric field is the amount of work done by the external force in bringing the charge Q from infinity to that point. So two quantities till now we have defined. One is the potential energy difference between 2 points P and R, that is WRP. Here we have defined electric potential energy at point P, that is nothing but W infinity P. Now let's define other two terms, electric potential difference and electric potential. So for that we will begin from the same situation. That is, the point test charge is situated at point R and it experiences an external force, electrostatic force Fe, and we are moving the charge from R to P by applying an external force. And this work done is WRP is equal to integral F external dot dr, and F external is equal to minus Fe. Therefore WRP is equal to minus integral R to P Fe dot dr. But we already know that Fe is equal to QE. Therefore, the work done WRP depends on Fe, Fe depends on Q, or WRP depends on Q. So as the amount of charge changes, the work done also changes. In order to standardize the value, we have to eliminate the charge Q. For that, instead of taking any charge, we will specify the work done per charge. So we can write work done per charge is characteristic of the electric field associated with the charge configuration. Therefore, we can write WRP divided by Q. That is nothing but delta U divided by Q, or UP minus UR divided by Q. This UP minus UR divided by Q, we will call it as VP minus VR, or delta V. That is the potential difference. So WRP divided by Q gives the potential difference between the points R and P. Now again, in order to find the absolute value or the potential at point P, we will take the point R at infinity. Therefore, the potential becomes 0. Therefore, we will get W infinity P divided by Q. That is the work done per charge to bring it from infinity to point P is defined as Vp, or electric potential. Once again, W infinity P divided by Q, that is work done per charge, or you can say work done on unit test charge to bring it from infinity to point P is defined as the potential at point P. So electrostatic potential V at any point in a region with electrostatic field is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge without acceleration from infinity to that point. Here we have defined four quantities: electric potential energy difference, electric potential energy, electric potential difference, and electric potential. So first one was electric potential energy difference, that is W delta U. That is nothing but UP minus UR and is equal to WRP, or the work done to bring a charge from point R to point P is called electric potential energy difference. The second quantity is electric potential energy. For that, we have fixed the point R to be infinity. So U infinity is equal to 0. Therefore, W infinity P is equal to UP minus U infinity is equal to UP. We'll call it as electric potential energy. So electric potential energy at any point P is the work done on a charge to bring it from infinity to that point P. Now, instead of taking any charge, let's take a unit positive charge, or let's calculate the work done per charge. From that, we will get two quantities. The first one is electric potential difference, that is WRP by Q is equal to UP minus UR by Q is equal to VP minus VR. We will call it as electric potential difference. So electric potential difference is work done per charge to bring it from point R to point P. Now again, we will fix the point R at infinity. Therefore, UR will be U infinity, that is equal to 0, and we will get the absolute value or the electric potential at point P. So that is nothing but W infinity P divided by Q, UP minus U infinity divided by Q. This is equal to Vp, or electric potential at point P. Now electric potential, the SI unit is volt and it is a scalar quantity. So you have a homework. You have to define 1 volt. So these are the four important quantities.